Hi everyone, Rohit this side. Before coming to the main topic of this video, I would introduce myself because in order to understand the or to believe in this video, you have to understand from which background I am coming. First of all, I have worked as a real estate analyst, then gone to consulting, then also worked in an equity research company, and now working as an investment banker. You must be thinking why I'm saying those things, but the reason of saying these things is while this entire process of more than 4 plus no 5 plus years of working in this industry, I have understood one thing, that most of the candidates or most of the colleagues which are working in these industries are coming from either tier 1 cities or are having a good college, and there is no one, rare of rare colleagues or students are there who are able to get into this field. The major reason is not because that they don't have the right skill set, or the right education. All are studying same thing only. Either you are reading in an Xavier's or either you are reading in an KNU university. The books are not different, but the way of teaching and the, we can say, the placement opportunities which that Xavier's or some DU college gives is the main is the main bridge between a student of an Xavier's or a student of an any big colleges compared to the college a student of an KNU. And you will love to hear to me that I am also a student of an KNU. You might be thinking that how I have got into this field. It was not an easy task. I have done lots of internships before getting into this entire field, starting from an unpaid internship. While those years were difficult, but I have understood one thing: when you try something and you constantly hit something somewhere for a lots of for a constant period of a time, you will understand that it is going to hit where you want to hit it. We say na, a bullseye hit. It was just like same. It was the same thing which has happened to me. It was more than 4 months I am working in an investment bank, as it is a startup. The reason why I am not targeting an MNC or any top tier firms is, first of all, I don't have that certificate of KNU, any tier 1 college. But that was not the major reason of not going there, because I have got an internship opportunity in one of the tier 1 MBA top tier investment bank. But the reason not to join there was that the work that will be I am going to learn in a startup, it will be far better than compared to an MNC or any top tier firms. Because the work that we will learn in a top tier firm, it will be it will be limited, because there every work is segregated. Rather, in a startup, you will properly do it from a top down approach rather than an only a bottom up approach. As while we do an industry research, you must have heard about a top down approach and a bottom up approach whenever we find our company, or while we are doing an analysis. And after all these technical things, the main motto or the main objective of this video is still remain unrevealed. What must be the motto of this video? First of all, after hearing all those things and after knowing who am I and what is my qualification, you must have understand that there is something which is I am trying, and it has taken me time and to build something which must be available to every student. The major motive was to launch this. Not it is not a course, but it is just a stepping stone for all the students who want to get into this role in core finance, but they're not able to get into it because they don't get a proper guidance. And if they get a proper guidance, no, they don't have that monetary benefit, because most of the time firms provide them an unpaid internship. They let them work for 2 months, 3 months, and in those 2 months, 3 months, they don't do anything. Neither they make them do any industry research, neither do they make them any valuation report, nor any company deep dive company profiling or any thesis, neither any equity research report they have to make. So while working there in a 2-3 month, you must be thinking that what you are working there, it is nothing but sourcing clients for them. They will say you, bring us as an investment banker. What is your job? First of all, in investment banking, what we do here, or there, you act as a broker, as a how you sell a house when you to how a broker sells a house. He knows the owner, he knows the customer, he is a middle person. He goes and talk to the owner. He asks what is the rate, what are the facilities which are you providing, and he conveys to the customer. And between both the while between talking, having a conversation between them, or setting a deal between them, they charge a 2% or something like that. In India it is in 2%, in Dubai it might be in 5%, and sometimes it is 10% also. Investment banking is similar to that only, it is nothing different. So while finding that customer, and while finding that we in the how from the example of an house, the owner, these two things needed to be found by an investment banker. So these two things, the in 2 to 3 months of an internship, you do nothing. Just you have to find the clients who need funding, and find the investors who are ready to invest. There is no work you are going to do in that 2 to 3 months. After 2 to 3 months, they will say you, oh, yeah, as they have accumulated the number of investors and accumulated the number of customers, they will say, yeah, you are not eligible for this role. This role is required in candidates who are having a good CV, who have a good educational background. You don't have that. I have faced that, because in my first company when I was there is a similar thing which has happened to me. I have worked for 2 months, and on the third month, when they were going to announce the results, in the means they are going to recruit. There were total seven candidates, and I was the only guy who was from KNU. You might be thinking it is a fake story, but it is not a fake story. Most of them are either from the IIM or from the IIT. While they were from IIM and IIT, there was an complexion. You can say that I always get whenever some error occurs, happens with this, some types of error or some types of mistake that I do. I was the only person who was working truly hard, because during that time it was not their fault also, because during that time IIT's students were having some type of examination going on. So there was one guy whose name was Benjamin, and I, who was working like anything. Benjamin was from Canada, and we are having a work from home, and some of them are from IIT Kharagpur. One of my colleague was from IIM Jammu. Then one is from IIT Bombay, and two of them were IIT Delhi. I have got those 2 months were really crazy, because our co-founder is great in his work. He is a proper salesperson. He knows whenever he used to go to pitch the client about the company, he's like, he will surely, the investor will invest in that company, because the way he used to pitch those things, pitch the deal is great. And while in 2 months, I have learned lots of things there. But yeah, the reason why I have not leave that company, they have terminated me, and it is in truth. In order to believe, or in order to listen to my words, you have to understand that what actually has happened, rather than a false story. I would say that I was in my first company. I would not reveal the name of the company, but I can sure that they were great at their work. I have learned lots of things, but I still got upset that for one fault, I was literally thrown out of that company. But yeah, something happens for a good. I think that after that, I have gone to one equity research company, done 2 month internship there, then worked, and then gone to a consulting company, then worked there also, and then Currently I am working as an investment banker. It has more than 6 to 7 months I have been working in there. And while working there, I have understood one thing. While it is a startup, and the founder of that investment bank, he understand one thing, and he used to say me, Rohit, you all do good work, but the one thing that is still missing in you all are the skill set which is required. I think I in here though I in 7 months I have gained all those skills. It was all the words that we are used to talk. Yeah, you used to have in the first month. That is the skill set. I thought, okay, what would be the skill set? Then I have understood there are lots of things which are needed to be done, which needed to be learned by you all. Rather jumping to the job posting for an IB or any core finance role, you need to learn some things which are very important before applying to the before applying any company. Rather in a core finance, if you're trying to get into a normal like in equity, in credit analyst profile also, no, you need to have this type of skills. And you will see now in job market, in today's job market, freshers are not allowed anymore. And most of the freshers are either well qualified, or they well qualified in the sense they don't know the technical skill, they just have an degree thing, and that degree is helping them to get into that college, get into that office or that firm. But right now I have understood one thing. In order to gain that, or in order to help the students to crack that roles, you need to learn few skills. First of all, you must have a confidence, and third, the way how you going to convey your thoughts there. Because in interview I have done more than 15-16 interviews, and the most common thing which I have seen now, they never see your CV, they see how you speak, how you pitch your ideas, and how you convey the problems which are used to given to you, how you pitch those things, how you think at that moment of a time. And yes, the technical skill, because before going there you have to cross few of the hurdles. As we have learned, the hurdles needed to be crossed. If the hurdles are not crossed, then how you are going to reach there? There were 5 levels of interviews which you need to crack. So the technical skill, where would you learn this? You might get those things in internet. In people are selling the courses for more than 20,000, 15,000, 40,000. Literally I have seen those things, and I have also done that course. It was not that 40,000, but it was 20,000. I was a part of that course, and it is one of the famous courses of India. Not famous courses, but it is a famous batch of India. Only limited amount of candidates are selected from entire India, and I was a part of that. And I have learned one thing there. You have to work like a hell in order to get into this core finance role, because core finance is never an easy task. Understand? So while searching for lots of things, how can can improve, and how I can help other in the sense ki I always used to thought that someday I will start my startup. But you need to get a kick, or in my words, to what is the driving force that is making you do those things. And one thing I have understood, that World to Finance, when the thought of World to Finances came to my mind, and you might be thinking, what is World to Finance? The entire video has come to you just because of World to Finance. World to Finance is that company, or that firm, or that organization which is going to help every candidate who ever want to get into a core finance role or any finance domain. He might be having limited resources, he might have some nothing limited to him. He can get into that. He doesn't require a degree, only an IIT IIM degree, because I believe that IIT IIMs gives you a ticket, you understand, a hall ticket or a gate pass. IIT IIM gives you a gate pass, but your skills, your dear determination and your confidence let you inside those firms. I'm not promising you about Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, or any top tier firms, but I'm promising for every boutique investment firm, because I am liable to you. I am saying, I am coming in front of camera and I am saying you that after doing this, all this technical skill, and after listening to my every words or doing every task which I assign to you, you might get into those firms, because there is something missing in this total, where I have seen something which is missing in this every students right now is the technical skills, way how to convey those ideas, or how to what to do exactly before applying for a job. So World to Finance has came today. World to Finance, it is on day one of an World to Finance, and my first workbook, as it is a prototype which has been launched. The reason to launch the prototype is to understand the how you are going to adopt it, because in order to understand, in order to know whether this it's fruitful or not, I have to launch a prototype. Something big is going to come, because World to Finance will never be an only an edtech company, because my major aim is not just to teach every you, but to teach how to get, how to be so efficient that you don't need to be just dependent on the company for your earning. Because if you know finance now, there is nothing can hold you just to do a job, because a finance guy na never work for too long, because he knows he have a skill set and he can get inside, or he can open any financial firm, because at the end of the day, a financial firm provides only one thing: gives you return and helps the customer to make profits. The entire game is of profits. If profit is the only game, then why to think so much about that thing? Because while working 5+ years in this entire industry, one thing I have understood: neither opening an investment bank, a boutique investment bank, is so hard, neither opening an advisory firm, it is too hard, neither it is difficult to open a consulting firm. So what you are what we are all holding back, the only thing that is holding back to us is the proper skill set. So World to Finance has come with the first workbook, which you might going to get in the comment section or in the description box. But first of all, understand one thing: World to Finance is never be an edtech platform, or nor I am not going to teach you like some batches type, because my main motive is to teach you how to not only get into the firm, how to make that firm. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to work there. If anyone is saying you that you are going to work in this firm for a longer period of a time, it can't be possible. Because if you see now, according to a report, JP Morgan has installed 40,000 AI agents. So you think only how you are going to sustain there. As a finance guy, I know we don't know entire coding thing. If we would know entire coding thing also, no, the coders are moving from that space. Because if you have ever used Grok AI, Grok AI can give you a code, either it is of CSS, either it is of HTML, or either it is of Java, in split second, which a coder would take a 1 month or a 2 month thing. So think about it. So only person who are going to sustain in this market, who are having their own firms or either having a personal portfolio which they build in a smaller period of a time by helping the clients. How you are going to consulting doesn't require you a multi-billion office or a big offices, or advisory doesn't require any type of lavish offices which needed a big capital. A consulting can be done a one room also. A advisory firm can be open in one room also, and anything like that. And PMS, yeah, the major motive is of World to Finance. The end goal, you can say them, not a major motive. The end goal of World to Finance is to open an PMS up where every retailer would be liable by me. I'm going to liable to them. Why their returns are so important? Because retailer need to earn. At the end of the day, na, in stock market there is only one person who is losing. It is the retailer, because FII, FPI, all are making money. DII also making money. The domestic investors. The only one who is not making money is retail investor, and it is a later story. But for now, you have to understand that why World to Finance has come. While the name, just here, while we are searching for the name of the company, I have my co-founder asked me, Rohit, what should be the name? He was thinking some software type anything name, but suddenly na, I was thinking if I'm going to teach finance, so it should be the name. It should be related to some finance and something that engulf everything. So suddenly na, it hit me, World to Finance. While it was first TO2, but as you know that in order to get the domain, in order to get the name, and in order to get you must have to get the domain. While say finding for the domain, I have not got that. So I have decided to keep it World, WORLD, World to Finance. And this is something which is going to help not only students but also the working professionals. And the major motive of this World to Finance will be providing every resources, everything which is required to get into a firm, and more of a firm, rather learning everything which will help you to retire quickly and open your something own. Because at the end of the day, there is no job is going to be guaranteed in this era of AI. You have to take help of AI. You have to be self-employed in order to gain. So World to Finance, I will not take more time from you, and I would say only one thing to you. World to Finance has taken an initiative with making his first workbook, which is an analyst toolkit. You must get into that before going to an analyst toolkit. It is a paid thing. The workbook is not costly, because I think because most of the firms are taking, or most of the companies are taking 40,000, 20,000, but the actual cost of actual projects which are actually happening in the firm doesn't cost so much. Because at the end of the day, what are you teaching? You are just teaching making PPT, and to make PPT it doesn't require 40,000, 20,000. Because in this era of AI, there is only one thing which you can be taught: learn and unlearn. And you have to understand the main topic of this. And while making this workbook, I have kept one thing in my mind. I'm not going to teach you something which is theoretical. I'm going to teach you something which is practical. So World to Finance has taken an initiative. You take an initiative before downloading or before purchasing our first book. There is one module. It is a free module. How to use Analyst Toolkit. Get it. See the content there. Tell me how it is it. And then after seeing it, go and purchase the Analyst Toolkit, and it will be the best thing that you have ever bought at that price range. You would never believe what is the price range of that quality type of resources which you are getting. Hope to see you again. Hope not to see you again, but I am going to come again and teach you every topic which is required to you till you are self-employed. The major motto of the 2026 is to make you self-employed rather to be working under anyone else.